Not sure if I'm live. Let's see. Okay, cool. It seems I'm live. Wait a little. We will wait a little bit and then we'll start. Yeah, I just need to set up a bunch of stuff. It's been a while. Maybe. Not sure regarding the sound. If there is delay or if there's no delay. I hope there is none. Because okay, trying to arrange everything. Cool, I think we'll wait a little bit and then we will start. Cool. Today will be pretty interesting stream. We'll talk about authentication, production grade authentication, and a bunch of options we have out there. Okay, it seems to me that stream is not lagging, so we are good to go. Still, this lamp is annoying a little bit. Okay, hey everyone, I'm just trying to set things up. Couple of minutes and we will start. We will talk about production grade authentication techniques using Hasura. I just have a lamp over there, so I'm trying to set it up so it won't be yeah, it's weird. Okay, maybe like that. Okay, I think this is way better. No, it's my face is too lit. Okay, this is way better. Cool. Yeah, so what we'll be talking today, we'll talk about how to set up Hasura with various authentication options, including the ones I used in the industry. So let's get started. So okay, so let's start with a list. Let me just bring up just a second. I just need to arrange everything and then we'll start. Okay. No, not yet. Too much screens, I guess. Okay, this is here. Okay, somebody. Yeah, cool. There is one person watching us right now. Hopefully there will be more. Hi there. Okay, so we can start with Hasura by going to get started with Heroku free tier and all of this stuff. But I actually want to start with CLI. So we start with installing, I already installed Hasura CLI. So I already have everything installed. I can just run Hasura init for initializing everything. So let's see what it is. So we have Hasura init with endpoint. So that's how we initialize our Hasura to have also migrations and stuff like that. We will take a look at this in a bit. Well, also last stream was talking about migrations quite a lot, so I won't dive into migrations thing, but I still want to have everything set up properly. So what I actually have here, that's for the spoiler. Okay, let's increase this a little bit, and before that let's install things on Heroku, deploy to Heroku. Let's call it somehow. The usual steps. Hasura streams auth. Let's deploy it. And I won't dive into how everything is done. Assuming you watched our stream, I will just do a brief overview and then we'll dive into authentication. So let's view our app. Let's view our app. Okay, so my app is here and I don't have data, it's just a new one. So let's set up our directory to have migrations and everything. So what we have here, if we read CLI for the docs, we have Hasura init that we need to execute, and we need to edit our config YAML, right? So what we will do, we will start with Hasura init. Actually, I already have the endpoint, so I can pass it like that, dash dash endpoint, and the one I have here. Okay, so endpoint, name the project Hasura. Okay, I have Hasura here. If I go and watch and look at my config YAML, I will see that it's automatically the endpoint is defined with the Hasura stream, with the one I added here, right? So I added endpoint, it's here, cool, so far so good. So now what I need to do, I want to run a console, right? So I don't want to run it from WebView, I want to run it from here, so I do Hasura console. And it will bring me to localhost with the not able to reach the cluster. I think because I haven't passed the database, maybe. And here it starts. Okay, let's see what I've done wrong. Maybe the URL was wrong. Yeah, I think because, okay, fine. This is because I had with GraphQL thing. Now, if I run that, let's rerun that. Here we go, have errors in the very beginning. Okay, cool. Now we see it's here and everything is fine. Now if we go to data, we have migrations here. So we'll have everything we add here will be added as migrations. We can commit all the changes later on, and we can use it later on for CI, for deployment, for anything. So this is how the proper way to start, right? So we have our engine running, have nothing configured yet. Now what we need to do, we need to secure our endpoint, and let's say we actually don't need all of these. We don't need for Heroku, for Docker, Kubernetes right now because we're using CLI. So for CLI, we have --admin secret that we can run. Alternatively, we can add this admin secret into our config YAML. Let's call it secret. I believe I need to rerun that. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think I need to rerun. Maybe I put it wrong. Yeah, I think I put it wrong here. So let's just run it with I already had this here with admin secret like that. Now the thing is, I haven't configured this admin secret yet, right? So because I'm running against the existing endpoint here. Where is it? Where is my Heroku? Let's open our Heroku dashboard. And we'll see in there. For new people that joined, I set up our Hasura endpoint with a proper, like through CLI and with migrations, with everything, and then we'll add auth. We're actually already adding a bunch of security things. So streams auth, it's this one. And okay, it asks me for login. Well, it was redirected to login screen for some reason. Heroku thing. Okay, where was I? Hasura stream auth. Let's go to settings. I will config for ours. Hasura, GraphQL, admin, secret, not a secret. Okay, now let's run our console like this, and it will probably fail. I didn't pick up it from CLI, so let's add it from here. Where was that? Not a secret. Okay. So we have invalid key, and that's because that's actually strange. Okay, endpoint, not a secret. Let's reload that. Why did I run it with proper? Okay, I ran it with different secret. Okay, now it's working. Cool. So I need to specify the secret in both places, right? With as configuration and here. So this is one way to secure that, but it's not actually security because you will use this is admin privileges, so you won't use these on the client. Even though like previous streams I used that for like securing endpoint, but it's not the proper way. The proper way to secure endpoint is have authentication, have some kind of like authorization, and having a bearer token, and having some kind of token here, right? That's the idea. And actually it supports this one because, as you can see, it has various problems here. This does pick up authorization, doesn't pick up, it picks up only admin secret. So the reason for that is because we need to add either webhooks auth or we need to add JWT auth for production use case. And today we will see how we can use simple JWT auth, and we will see how we can use Hasura with Cognito, having a custom claim and having everything like working with Cognito. Okay, so and we'll discuss a bunch of other options. So what we will do, first of all, let's create a bunch of tables. I usually like to create posts. And let's say we have a title and we'll have a content. Primary keys ID. And I will also create users. It also creates migrations. That's why it takes time. Okay. It also creates migrations. So if I, for example, go into my migrations folder, now that's the whole reason why we set up our Hasura anything, because now when I look at my code, I will see that I have everything that I need to run this on a fresh new database and migrate everything to production or QA or whatever. So that's the main reason why I'm running it like that. Now, okay, we created the posts. I closed the window. We'll reopen it again. But let's create users, ID column, gen random UID. We'll have first name of type text, last name of type text, and primary key of ID. Let's add this table. Okay, sorry, I closed the window. So Hasura auth. I think I have it here, right? That's the one. Yeah, that's the one. And let's run console. Okay, now let's create users. We have title and we have content, and my primary key is ID. Let's add this table. Yeah, I already did that for post, so it's first name and user and last name. So something like that. Now for my posts, I need to add another user ID. It's not nullable, and it will be a foreign key to my users table. Just basic setup of relationships. Okay, user. By the way, these are all migrations. All migrations are added. So this, yeah, I can run this on any new database and this will work. Cool. So I have basic admin secret and I have data here. So what I want to do, I want to start setting permissions. So what my permissions will be, let's say we have a user role, and user will be able only to view all like title content, but he doesn't have access to user ID. Actually, it's fine. It's and we allow aggregations for queries, but he won't see ID. He cannot return ID, for example. So let's set this user role. And it takes some time. My connection is lagging a little bit. Okay. Let's set it again, maybe. Okay. Fine. Was connection was dropped or something. Okay, so now, for example, if I go x Hasura user role, and my user role is user, I think permission failed. Dating permissions here failed. Let's see. No, they seems fine. Now for my user role, I have a role of user, and I still see still see my everything, which is weird. Yeah, because I'm using admin secret, and admin secret overrides everything. But if I remove that, I will have an error here. Like, let me just reload that. Yeah, I will have an error because I have this admin secret. So what I need to do is what I tried to show, but it's probably better to show it with JWT already. So the idea is have either webhooks or have JWT. So JWT can be decoded by Hasura engine, and X Hasura user role and default roles and bunch of other things will be brought from the JWT and passed to our permissions over there what I showed you. So for that we need to add a bunch of variables. So let's see how it's described in docs. Let's just follow the docs so you'll also see on by yourself how it can be done. So we go to our auth and access control, and we have a bunch of things here. So we have a bunch of samples, and we have different authorization techniques using JWT. So, for example, there are Auth0 and JWT and Auth0 and Firebase examples. So if you check this link, this is a to-do app made with everything with like JWT secret, and it's defined. And like these rules are the custom rules that you add to Auth0 dashboard. Whenever you add these rules, these will be all of these will be passed to back to Hasura, and then basically based on my default role, based on my allowed roles, and on my user ID, I will get granular permissions. So this is how it's done with Auth0. Let's actually create something, maybe. Let's see, and with Firebase we have also like sample app, how to do it with Firebase. Now this can be misleading. So how do we start, right? We start either, we need to decide whether we will use webhook or whether we will use JWT. Now JWT, you don't have any control of how to invalidate your token. You get your token, that's it, until it's expired, it's there, you cannot invalidate that. With custom webhooks, you can do that because it's basically your custom server that is just returning the token. So let me just find this server that I already have deployed, and we'll see how it works. Just a second, looking for, I have too much tabs. Just a second. Yeah, okay, I found it. So this is this one, and basically what it gives you, it's Passpal.js webhook. So let's see how the code is written and what's actually happening there. So what I can do, I have it running already. I just deployed it to Heroku. So what I can do, I can run sign up. Okay, I cannot install because I already have this user, so let me just sign in. Or actually, let me just change my username. Okay, so I have this token, right? And what I can do with this token, I can send it as authorization. But what happens then? It's not a JWT token, right? So if I go to jwt.io and if I try to decode that, I won't have anything inside. So the idea is you have some kind of token generated on sign up, on login. And whenever it's generated, you can pass this token and you can validate this with webhook. So if I go to, I believe it's okay. Let's just do it that way. For example, we can just add a Hasura GraphQL auth hook to our uh, Heroku here. And now we need to pass basically any URL that we have. So what we had here, we had this one. But we don't need the sign up. We need the webhook URL. So let's actually do that. Go here, add webhook. Now let's rerun that. And we don't see anything here. So why is that? Why we don't have? So we already. Okay, I forgot to add that. We don't see anything because it's not authorized. So what? Let's take a look at the code itself, and let's understand what is passed to Hasura and what we can use in our permission thing here. Let me remove the role too. Not needed right now because the role will be passed from our webhook. And in our permissions, we need to set this to be based on something. Okay, where I had this code, let's take a look at the code. So what happens here, and we have different examples of webhooks. So it's not only, this is just a simple one, passport.js. Have other, like Auth0 is there, Firebase, well, not Auth0, Firebase there, because Firebase functions, for example, it's a different setup. They don't use JWT, so you need to do kind of custom webhook. Let's see in controllers, user. So we have this get webhook. So what is returned is return Hasura role and return user ID, right? So currently, what is happening when I look at the console, no authorization header is sent. So what I want to do now, I want to take this token and pass it here. Now what I also need to do, need to go to my users, permissions, I don't have any permissions here for my user. So I want to do without any checks, just toggle all. Now, as you can see, I already have query and subscription, and I haven't passed the role, but you can see this is a user role because it's passed through a custom webhook. Now, let's see, let's actually try to query that. Let's query our posts, and we want to get a title, we want to get a content, we want to get a user. And we can get only user ID. No, sorry, last name. I won't get anything. Actually, I think I haven't created anything. But yeah, we won't be getting anything anyways. So let's maybe add additional check here. Let's maybe add insert with custom check if on user table, if my ID is equal to the one that I sent there. So the one that is coded here is this username. And as we've seen in the code, user ID is passed. And this is basically the same as, sorry, it's an actual user ID. Yeah, but we can do like this one. And so what happens is whenever my user matches, then this permission will apply. The user matches the same user that exists in the database. So let's add these permissions. If something is not not straightforward, let me know. Now, let's see, I have mutation, have insert users. Let's try to do that. Insert users, and let's add first name. Okay. I think I haven't set my UID as auto-generated. Not actually supposed to. Insert users. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I know why. Let me just remove that permission. So something's odd here. Yeah, because I cannot insert without auto-generating that. So I need to add this to insert permissions. So what I tried to do, I tried to insert these two columns, but it didn't allow me to insert. Maybe now. Permissions. Let's just do it for now, and then we'll see what was wrong. Okay. Now it's fine. Everything is inserted. So yeah, so the problem is, let me show you what's the problem is. Now I figure out. So what I try to do, I try to set permissions here for the insert with custom check. So I can insert only if the user that I pass matches the user that exists in the database, which is not correct for this use case because we don't have any users. So we inserted this user. So right now it will be correct. Now let me query users, and let's say I want to get last name. Now what I want to add, it's the same thing that I had previously. So I want to do custom checks, and I want to be able to query only if the ID of my authorization matches the user, which is logical. I want to get my profile data only when I'm that user, right? Okay, now I think it haven't saved. Oh, okay, sorry, I exited before it saved. It takes longer when you run it locally because it also generates these migrations and writes them to disk. And for some reason, it hasn't created. Okay, I'm not sure why it turned off. It's not supposed to be. Worst case scenario, we go here, and because we talked about migrations in the previous stream, so. Okay, something will just happen. Let's just open our app here and where was it? Ah, okay. It's running. Let's see. Ah, okay, fine. It's running. Now let's check. Yeah, it seems now it's fine. Sorry about that. Let's add custom check. ID equal, sorry, user ID. Let's add our permissions. Permissions updated. Let's double check. Okay, fine. Now I want to query. There's last name. and it will allow me because I haven't passed my authorization. Now I want to pass authorization with this token. Which past username. Ah, okay, sorry, it's a different token. We query our users based on, yeah, we can insert. Okay, maybe something is returning wrong from the server. But you got the idea, I hope. Ah. Wait. Let's do. Let's find the token that it was. This is the token. This is the bearer. Title. Okay. I don't see any posts. Let's see why. Okay, I have select. Let me just revert back here and let's see what's going on. Probably try to update it in different places. Okay, with custom ID equal Hasura user ID. Okay, so for user role, that's for user role. For users, I also insert. Here I have the user ID. Ah, it was actually fine. It was actually fine. Authorization bearer token. So let's see that it works. No, it doesn't. Now it works. Okay. I don't have post. That's logical because I haven't entered post for users. I have a valid type syntax for UID. Let's see why. Because it tries to compare that with the user ID that I sent from my custom webhook, which is not unique identifier, something else. It's an integer that it's trying to compare to UID. That's why it's happening. So let's add another table. Let's say comments. And let's see what we return in here. So return user ID and user ID. Let's see in our database what is that. So we have username, password, and token. It's migration and the schema. ID. Where is the ID? Okay, it's string. Random bytes, I think it's string. Okay. Ah, no, it's a token. Sorry, token is string, but what is ID? You type integer. Here we go. That's our problem. So let's create type integer. No default value. Let's say our comments will be just content, and it will be text. Let's add our table. So now, actually, let's connect it to somewhere. Let's add post ID. And it's a foreign key to posts. Good. So for our comments, let's see what we can do here. We don't see any comments. The problem with that is because we don't have any permissions set for this user role. So we want to see permissions based on like ID equal to user ID. I know it's confusing because it's comment and passing user, but I didn't want to just delete this user table. Now we don't see any comments. So what I want to do now, not sure if I'm getting this. Okay, ID 3. Let's create a new comment with ID 3. Actually, let's create a bunch of comments. Let's one. I'll have posts. Let's create a new post. We won't be able to. We can only insert users, right? So this is where we have a proper authorization already. We cannot do things we're not supposed to do because we are user. So I want to insert anything for posts. Insert posts. And we have title will be no, it's a post. And content will be and we cannot we actually can insert. I'm not sure if I done added user permissions or not. We'll figure it right now. Last name has to be there. Okay, that's fine. It's created. Let's grab this user ID. Let's add our new comment. No, not user ID, sorry, the post ID. Now, if you've seen the permissions here, we'll be able to insert everything, but we couldn't see the returning ID of the post. That's because here this is unchecked. So for this role, I can get back from mutation, title, content, user ID. I cannot get back an ID. So it's already we get it into the granular level. Now, what I wanted to do is to insert comments. And I cannot do that because I don't have permissions. So let's do it from here. Yeah, let's do it from here. Let's insert a row. It will be 1 comment ID, 2 comment UID, 3 comment UID. Now let's query comments and get content. We see only 1. What's the reason for that? Because we see only comments that are associated with our ID brought from the bearer token. So this is a custom of webhook, how it looks like. And now with admin secret we can have everything, and if you pass a Hasura role admin as instead of this user, we will be able to see other stuff like other queries and mutation. Okay, so this is a granularity of permissions. All right, so you also can pass, instead of passing just user ID, you can pass any custom data whenever it's prefixed with x-hasura. Then you can use it in, let's say, for our posts. You go to permissions, you can do custom check and let's say title equal x-hasura custom title, whatever, something like that. You can totally do that. So this is the webhook example. Let me show you a couple of others. So have Firebase Cloud Functions. Now with Cloud Functions is a little bit different. So what you get, what you send basically is Firebase ID, Firebase ID token. But then you need to validate with Firebase Functions, that your user actually exists. So here in Auth Webhook, what is happening is we get our credentials and we get our authorization header that is brought from the client, right? Again, when we go into Hasura, we get this authorization header. We basically go to webhook, we pass this authorization header, and then we'll return things back. So if we don't have these authorization headers, we just respond with anonymous role, assuming you have this role defined in permissions list. Now, if not, then we basically extract our token. There's a helper function to extract this from header, and we use Firebase Auth to verify this token. And if it's verified, everything's fine, we return user ID and we return Hasura role. That's again piped into the brought back to Hasura, and you can use it for any permission model. So this is custom webhook here. In addition to that, there's Python also. Okay, this is JWT. This is a different one. Let's go through the docs to see if we missed something. So this is the model, how it looks like. As I told you, like you query Hasura, it sends everything, all the headers to your webhook. You do anything you want, you pass things back, and then you have these access control rules that you can apply. So you have a bunch of examples here, what you can return, and yeah, a bunch of samples. Also, you have, it's pretty much the same. No, it's yeah, it's pretty much the same repo. You have simple webhook sample, you have Firebase webhook sample, and yeah, that's basically custom auth webhooks. You can make it as complex as you like. Can do your own business logic inside. If you return back your X Hasura something, where X Hasura default roles and X Hasura user ID is, it's kind of there are a bunch of mandatory things. That then you're good to go. Then you have your any custom auth out there. So for configuring that, you need to pass a Hasura GraphQL auth hook. So any URL that is here will be called, and all the process will work, right? Cool. Now what we will do, we'll go to different hero club, and I'll show you something completely different with with the JWT. So actually, thinking if to go into, yeah, before going to Cognito, let's create a different a new one. Actually, maybe I have. Wait, this is the one I worked right now on, right? Yeah, this is the one I worked on. Let's see. This is a node. Okay, we can do with this one. So this is, I think, empty project, empty engine without, like, with empty database and nothing. And we can set it up with JWT. Yeah, I'm not mistaken. It's the same. It's like, I mean, it's not the same. It's empty. So for JWT and for auth webhooks, we have to pass admin secret. That's mandatory. Okay, and now it will be something like that. Okay, we have secret. Now we need to pass JWT token. So the question is what we pass inside. And let's, in a similar manner we did previously, let's walk through the docs and you will see where to look for that if you need additional help. And anyways, you can jump on Discord and ask questions, and I'm monitoring the chat, so if you have questions in chat, you can totally do that. So the idea is you have auth server, you have JWT. Your auth server is external one. You do anything you want there. You get the token back with X Hasura claims. This is important. You have specific format how to pass Hasura claims. Inside these claims, you get again user ID, default role, the same thing with we've seen with auth webhook. Then Hasura knows how to parse this token based on the variable we're passing here, and because you pass the algorithm type and like everything else, so it passes this token, and again it goes into permission system, and pretty much the same as it worked with custom auth webhook. So what we have to do is to pass our custom claim or any claim that is returned from the server in the following format. And inside we have allowed roles, default role, and user ID, and a bunch of other custom stuff that you can pass. So the mandatory are these ones. And allowed roles is really important because people do mistakes on that part. If your list of allowed roles is supposed to be the same as it exists in permissions system. So what we will try to do now, we will try to generate JWT token for these. Let's actually take this example, JWT. And what we will do, we will go to jwt.io and we'll look at the encoded part. So this is our data, and this is how it will be encoded. So let's change our algorithm to be, no, not this one. This one. So let's reload that. That was weird. Okay, that's weird. Anyways, this is our token, right? So what we need to add our public key. So let's take this public key. And obviously, whenever you create that, you can generate this on your server. You can, actually, there was a new blog post recently about how you do that. So I will link to that on Twitter after the video. So what we need to pass, we need to pass algorithm and we need to pass a type. Now the question is where we pass that. We pass them here. And you can see this in docs here. You will see somewhere down there. This is how you're supposed to pass that. Right? It explains how you generate how the keys look like and all stuff like that. So you take secret, and then you need to pass a value. So what we need to pass here, you see the key, public key, and everything. You actually can pass only the middle part. Will work in the same way. So let's get it from here. And do it that way. Actually, where was it? I just don't want to type that. I just want to get it from here and then just substitute the key to something else. It was RS256, and my key is here. So this is my public key. Okay, now it's added. So let's open our app. Have admin secret. It's not a secret anymore. Now we don't have anything, right? So let's just add posts or something. So we will see the change when permissions are changed. Okay. So now So we cannot verify JWT because the bearer is wrong. So what we will do now, we will grab this JWT token and okay, and paste it here. Okay, what's wrong? Now the admin. I think I didn't copy everything, maybe. Let's see. Mail form authorization header. Maybe I made a mistake here somewhere. Let's see. Let's actually try our key without the whole begin and end. Even though it won't really matter. But maybe blank spaces, I don't know. Okay, we have application error. Let's try to fix that. Get this key. Move that. Get it from here. Public key. Okay, now it seems like working. Cool. Now let's take a look what we've passed. We've passed loud roles, editor, user, and mod, and we have a user here passed. Actually, no, it's like overridden. So yeah, so we have a problem. We don't have anything, right? So let's add permissions. Let's add a user. Let's select, save permissions, and we have already queries and subscriptions. Now, in addition to that, let's see what else we passed. We have a user ID here, an org ID, and some custom value. Let's actually check something on custom value. Let's get to our console here, data, posts, permissions, and for our select, we want to select content. We want to select yeah, we want to select everything only if content is equal to custom value, something like that. So what does it mean? It means if I want to query let me just add a bunch of data here. let's say first post, and we'll have custom value, and the other one will be second post, and it won't have custom value. We will see only first post because we checked against custom value. So as you can see here, this is how JWT token works. Now it doesn't matter what server you're using. It doesn't matter, like if you use, for example, Auth0, you'll be able to do these as custom claims. In addition to that, actually, this namespace can be changed. This is a thing called claims namespace, and claims, where was it? Claims namespace, this one. You can totally go to our JWT here and pass our custom namespace, claims namespace, as my amazing auth, something like that. Now, if we do that, and let's reload our console here. So this key is not found because what you basically specify here is to look this key under the custom claims, under the JWT claim, and everything that inside this namespace to pass it to Hasura so you can use it in permission model. Now, what we need to do to make it work, we need to go here, change that to my amazing auth, have this token changed, and now we'll get our permission model working. So this is for JWT. So it doesn't matter. It has a bunch of additional stuff, and we will see it in a bit how it's done with Cognito. Now with Cognito, there is a trick. There are like quite a lot of tricks actually to make it work with Cognito, but currently I think since December it's working. So yeah, let's overview how it's done. So let's take a look first on the client side. So on the client side, just open that. So I have this Cognito auth, and I have this front-end code. So what I have here is just a regular React app, no styling, nothing, just simple one. What I will do here is let's oops, sorry. Front end. Okay, it's somewhere, I think, localhost 8080. No. Localhost 8080 is different one. Okay. It was just slow. Okay, where is it? So what I have here, I have basic sign in, I have sign up. So for sign up, let's sign up with Cognito. Basically, I have user pool defined. I won't get into how to define Cognito. There are a bunch of tutorials on that. But let's say I defined everything in Cognito. And let's say my username is some username, and my password will be something like that. My email. Now I send it. It's the different one, sorry. I sign up, I get a Cognito user, which is not confirmed yet. Now I won't show that because I'm opening my own email. So I got confirmation email with the confirmation code that I need to paste here, and I will get confirmation. So currently I don't have any token, nothing, just user sub. Now what I need to do to connect Cognito to my actual database, I have post a bunch of hooks that on Cognito side that I can execute lambdas. So what I need to do is to execute lambda and add this one as basically user ID without like not confirmed user ID. And whenever I do this on Lambda side, I can totally use admin secret for doing these manipulations. Don't need to like authenticate again because it's like server to server interaction, like serverless to server interaction. And the verification code that I have is this one. Confirm my verification code. I get success. Actually supposed to get a token, so I think I modified lambda when I was not supposed to. Let's see. It's either lambda or okay, I have sign up. So what's happening here? I have confirm and navigate, confirm sign up. Okay, I know what's the problem, I think. Auth. I need to execute this one. Auth current session to get the actual session data. So when I confirm my sign up, instead of sending success, I also want to send also want to log data. Actually, no, not needed right now. Let's do different things. So let's just sign in and we'll see our token. So yeah, sorry for misleading. So we're signing with username and password. So what we'll get back, we'll get user session. User session will have an ID token that you can take, and you can basically paste it here. And that's what you get from Cognito. So you get JWT claims. I will show in a bit how I set up JWT claims on Cognito, but I have it stringified here. So, if you have any, not only JWT, not only Cognito, if you have any provider that doesn't support nested claims, which is the reason why this is added, like this option is added to Hasura, you need to pass specific specific configuration as claims format to your JWT secret. So here, what I need to pass, actually, yeah, let's leave this one. Let's open a different one that I already have, test cognito. And inside, I can reveal my config vars, and I will see claims format stringify JSON. But in addition to that, I will see this thing instead of primary key. So why this is used? Because this is used for also like for Auth0, they use the same for expiring your token. So if you go to this URL, you will see a bunch of keys. And obviously, I'll delete everything after this stream. So yeah, and then you see the claims format. So what I want to do now in my app is to open it and try to parse the token that I have from Cognito. This one. And this token is the token that I had previously running this example. Now you will get this error. Why? Because it's expired. Now if I run it like that, I think I got it wrong. Haven't copied all. Yeah, I forgot to copy the whole token. So let me just do it from here. It's easier. Okay, not valid. Okay, there is some problem with decoding that. Let's see what's wrong. Maybe I configured something wrong here. This is fine. This is fine. Let's see. Okay, it cannot verify. I have the type, pretty much the same type. I had it here. Okay, I think I know what's wrong. Let me check that. Okay, I don't have tables set up, so okay. Now it seems to work, right? Let's set a table. Let's add title. And let's add content. Okay, we have title and content. Now, what do we have here in docs? We are not authorized. Why is that? Because we have, actually, let me show you the Lambda function that is running with Cognito. So you will see what's going on, and then we'll get back to the console. So just a second. We'll open my Cognito. Okay, so this is my Cognito, and I have a bunch of users. Have this one, and I have a bunch of those. So what's happening here? I have triggers in my Cognito, and I can define a Lambda function specific for pre-token generation. Whenever I have this function fires after you have like signings, whenever token, basically it self-describes itself. Whenever before you generate token, this Lambda function is fired. Now I will bring you to the Lambda part. Okay, so this is my Lambda function. What's happening here is like super simple. What it has inside, it has default role. We can say default role is admin, default role is anonymous, default role is user. So currently what we're getting, so these are custom claims, right? You use claims override, claims to add override, and then this is just for debugging purposes. I don't need this. But this one is the one that I showed you previously when we generated JWT token by using JWT.io. Now, what I need to do here is to stringify, because Cognito doesn't support nested claims, only stringified ones. Now here I pass all these three user allowed roles and the default role and the user ID that I'm getting. So I kinda have to add a user role. Let's just add all permissions, and let's add anonymous with let's toggle all permissions. And if we go here, you see we have select applied. Now what I want to show you, I have another user incognito. It's called Vlad, and this user basically is an admin. So how do I do it here? Have a user role. Check if my user attribute sub is this one, then I'm admin. If not, I'm a user. So let's go to our Cognito and set one of the users to be a different user role. Wait just a second. Actually, we'll do. Yeah, I cannot show that. Just a second. Okay, my users and groups, and I had some username, and let's get this username sub. Now what I will do is go to my Lambda, and we'll add it here. So if my sub will be that one, that I will be an admin. Obviously, you can do much more than that. You can here do like requests to database. You can validate your users. You can do like anything that you want as soon as you return this response. So any business logic that you want to do. Okay, now we have it here. What we need to do, we need to save. It's already saved. Fine. What I want to do, I want to run it. We'll get different token. Actually, maybe yeah, because claims different, so we get different one. Okay. Okay, this is our bearer token. Actually, it's supposed to be admin. Wait, what I did here, user ID and attribute sub. Then my user role is admin. Yeah, supposed to work. Let's see what's wrong here. User, and this is the default role. Okay, sorry, I haven't saved Lambda. I will rerun it again. I think because let's try to see. Okay, stringified claim. User role admin. So it is admin. It's not picking it up for some reason. Let's maybe reload that. Yeah, okay, fine. It was caching maybe. I don't know. So right now we see that it's an admin, and yeah, that's basically how we do custom claims with a stringified option. And again, this option is passed here as claims format. So that's about it for today, I think. We covered webhooks, WebAuth hooks. We covered JWT. We covered JWT with Cognito. So yeah, I hope you liked it. I will like soon. I will publish a blog post explaining that in detail. Everything I talked today, and yeah, we had some technical difficulties at the beginning. Sorry about that. And I hope you enjoyed. And see you next week. Actually, will be something else streaming, but see you next week on the Hasura streams. Anyways, I will be, if not streaming, I will be watching. So yeah, and another thing, on 18th, on Hasura streams we have events, so check these events we have on April 18th. We will be using Hasura with event triggers. We'll be using netlify functions with can't see duds. We'll be live coding that, so make sure you attend. Thanks. Bye. Yeah. If you have questions, I will monitor chat couple of minutes to see like if you have specific questions. If not, then the stream will be over. And yeah, I will be adding boilerplate for this Lambda function to actually over here. So we have community. If you don't know, Hasura GraphQL Engine community, inside we have a bunch of things. So I will add a boilerplate with Cognito Lambda pretty soon. And yeah, maybe a sample or two. We'll see. If you have something specific you want me to add, let me know. Okay, so no one is asking question. I guess that's it for today's stream, and see you next week. If you'll be at React Amsterdam, come and say hi. I will be lots of places. Bye.